it can be.
Hello.
Hello, Tammy.
Oh, yes. Well, how's everybody doing out there? It's a great day. We got here in Michigan today, and I'm here. This is Tammy with Things of Interest, and I have my guest, Rod Casey. Hello, Rod.
Hello, Tammy.
It's great. It's great to see you. It's great to be before all of you, and we're here today to talk about voting, particularly for Mr. Rod Casey, who's running for. Well, you tell everybody what are you running for, Rod?
I'm running for Washington Community College Board of Trustees.
All right, that's great. Well, you know, it's a lot to talk about, and you know, those of you that are from this area, you might or might not know Rod. But he's been in the community a long time, dealing with a lot of issues. And I don't know, we could start with why you're running. Why did you decide to run to be a trustee, Rod?
Well, for one thing, Tammy, I've been a Democratic delegate for 12 years, been elected 4 times. Okay. And, you know, I'm also on part of the executive board for the Democratic Party as well. Okay. And also I'm vice chair of the Democratic Party Black Caucus. Okay. And I decided to run because I learned that there was a decline in enrollment up at the college. Okay. But specifically, the largest decline was in eastern Washington County, which is my district, the 54 district. And so I took that very personal, you know, I mean, because we know from statistics that if kids do not finish school or further their education, they are prospective for the private prisons. And you know I'm a hard advocate against private prisons. Okay. So I decided to get in there, turn this around with some programs that are available. Okay. All right, they have programs available that have incentives for kids to come to school. Well, not just kids, but students, whether they 15 or 50, year or more, you know. And these incentives, are you familiar with the IPSI Promise?
The IPSI Promise?
Program, yes.
No, I am not, Rod.
Well, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like the Kalamazoo Promise, all right? Where they be able to handle financial aid or financial grants for kids that cannot afford college otherwise. And this here program has shown to increase attendance at the community college, all right? And that these kids was, in fact, more successful than the normal kids. Well, you know, given the opportunity.
See, we have, you know, networking and having people come on and share information is great. And that's what we need to do more of as African Americans. We don't network, and I don't know, it's almost like, you know, people want just certain people to participate in things sometimes. So they don't like reach out sometimes and let other people know that, you know, things are available, or, you know, I don't know.
Wait, we got to break that status quo. We got to break that. We got to break that.
But I have to admit, there's a lot of things that, you know, people are busy and they don't always, you know, get involved in. But sometimes we just don't share. Somebody could just call and say, Tammy, you know, I don't know whether you can make it or not, but you can pass this information on and tell us about things like the Promise.
Well, see, that's why I'm a delegate, Tammy. Yeah. Because that is part of my job, is to delegate things and to communicate. You know, even if it's just for one of our legislators in my district, I communicate what's happening with him and what bills he passed and which one he's concerned about.
That's great.
And that is so important if we're going to keep people involved in our voting process, because the educated voter is a good voter.
Yeah. Well, it is, and this is a sensitive time. I mean, well, the elections are on the 18th?
Yeah, the 8th of November.
The 18th of November.
No, 8th.
The 8th of November. Okay, no, and that's when the presidential.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, wow, we cutting it close, but you still have time to get out there, and you'll see Rod Casey's name on the application, your voting application, and
it'll be on the nonpartisan section. It won't be on. They got to flip it over. Okay. And I'll be on the nonpartisan section. Okay. So it won't be under a particular party where you can just, you know, drop one party and be good. No, you got to flip it over. Yes.
And we know it's important. We're talking about you voting for Ron Casey for the Washington Community College Board of Trustees, and he's a Democrat. But we also want to encourage people to get out and vote. cliche we've been hearing, you only have one vote.
And don't lose
so
it.
You only have one vote, so you get out there and vote. It's a nasty election, isn't it, Ron?
Oh, it's done got nasty, but that's okay. My girl knocked him out.
Yeah, she did.
Just-
But it's dangerous. It's really dangerous.
Yes,
just
yes,
how close we are to having a very radical person. In my opinion, I'm a Democrat. I can speak for myself.
No.
I find
it's just fact.
He's a challenge, I tell you.
Yeah, he's a handful, bless his
Yeah.
heart. But, the thing is, Tammy, right now, my focus, I'm supporting Hillary, of course, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because I have daughters, and I want to see my daughters have hope just as well. Keep the
Absolutely.
magic alive.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I mean, it's not about male or female necessarily.
No,
it's about
no,
the
to
person
me
who,
it is.
I'm trying to diffuse I'm trying to diffuse myself because I'm a girl. I don't want to. We got a lot of.
It's time for us to advance.
I'm glad you're a progressive thinking man, and but there's a lot of men and women who are not as progressive thinking as you are.
Well, Tammy, I was raised mostly by a mother.
Well.
And I believe my life could have been much, much different if she would have had the same opportunity as a man. And right now, especially African American women are the highest, ones without, single right now.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this will make a big difference to humanity itself.
Yes.
To finally let them get the same amount of wages, to let them have the same access. Come on now.
Preach.
Get real. We're not back in the Stone days no more.
Because it is what it is, and we didn't create the nature and the sexes, and we didn't create any of this. God did.
Right.
But for the woman, she does incubate and she does carry men and women for the 9 months that they're incubating and they're growing. Mm-hmm. So she has instincts that and then she raises and multitasks and does a lot of things, and so we're moving into a new era. That's historic.
Right. And I want to be a part of it.
I absolutely agree. It's an exciting time, and we're going to have 4 years of somebody new.
Well, it's way overdue. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
It's way overdue. But getting back to the Board of Trustees.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do I want to turn it around, utilizing program like the IPSI program, to pump it up so people know about this program, and we can utilize this program.
And that's the Promise program.
The Promise program, but there's many other scholarship programs out there.
Okay.
We need to pull them all together, and not only just for Ypsilanti, but try to maybe even expand throughout the county.
Okay, so you are one of your the ideas that you have for what you're going to do when you become a trustee is to help give people information on scholarships.
Right.
Okay.
Get them information on scholarships, have education forums like we did at private prisons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Educate them the dangers of going online to these schools that's non-accredited.
Okay.
Because a lot of our kids are getting ripped off by these schools that are non-accredited. All right, they go there and spend all their student loan on it, only to find out they don't have no credits.
Oh yeah, no, you shouldn't go to a non-accredited schools. I mean,
well, they don't know. They don't know. They
and
get on
you'd be
the
surprised.
computer.
Right. What people don't know, and information and knowledge, and sometimes for African American students, they don't even get good counseling.
Right.
From somebody. So you got a lot of work ahead of you, Casey, because.
It's a lot of dangerous getting behind these computers and really don't know all the dot the I's and cross the T's.
Trying to do something good for themselves and
right.
get caught up in the okie doke.
And get caught up with the okie doke, and all their student money is gone and everything.
Gotcha.
And these people need to be held accountable.
Well,
and you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
I agree with you.
They should see. But part of my job also as a board of trustee is not only to get the kids back, but to keep them.
Yes.
Once we keep them, because first of all, we want to find out why is they declining.
Okay.
What is it? And the only conclusion I come to after looking into the matter myself, we need to also hire some qualified teachers that reflect the community.
Well, we have here, vote Roderick Casey for the Washington Community College Board of Trustees. That's a handsome picture,
Oh, shucks.
Very handsome picture. Yeah.
Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah. Well, we'll be showing that a little later. But yeah, I agree with everything that you said.
You know,
absolutely.
Because Washtenaw County has one of the most diverse counties throughout the nation, throughout the world.
Yes, it does.
And I'm saying we need to have a college that reflects that.
Yes.
All right. See, because a lot of teachers cannot identify with some of our children. They can't identify when I'm coming from a substance abuse family.
They can't.
They can't identify with some kid that just got through, his best friend got shot in the alley and he had to see that.
Well,
PTS.
That kind of takes me to my next question, is that once you become a trustee, are you have any plans for the internal structure of the school? I mean, with the scholarships, that's them going into the school system, but do you have any plan for the school system? Because I've had children in school systems, and I think that there should be a liaison, somebody that's that's not directly involved with the school or the student that can advocate for a lot of these students. I would love to see someone from a department that's highly respected, that's organized and put together of people that can advocate for children in the school system. That's just one of my pet peeves, because a child speaking to an adult has to do it in a way where it's not considered insubordinate or disrespectful. So a lot of things that I can say to a teacher, and that I did say to the teacher, my children weren't allowed to speak in that manner. So it's like, how can they communicate themselves if they don't think that the person in control is right, and they tell them they're not right, then they feel like they're offended. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't like the way, or I think you did something wrong. Well, then we have a class, we have a difference where the teacher or the person in authority doesn't think that the student should be able to speak to them that way. So when an adult can come in and say, well, this is what I've been told, this is how I perceive this, and you can share it to them without it being like, when the student just told me off, or the student just disrespected me. And that's what I found was really missing, because students didn't know how to articulate. They didn't know how to communicate. They knew how to tell them, in an offensive, straightforward manner that they didn't like what they did. Then the adult or the teacher would react like, I've just been dissed, or who are you? You're a child. You know what I mean? And you're just not minding, or you're just not doing right. You don't question me. Well,
Tammy, unfortunately, it's not just the young teenager. It's the big ones like us too. That goes back in for their GED, and they still have that mentality level.
Absolutely.
And the community college is supposed to be a place where you nurture them to be prepared for a job or back to college.
Absolutely.
It's not like you're supposed to. The community college was not built for the brightest student. Or somebody, like a university or something. It is built for the average citizen to come and be nurtured and be prepared if they want higher education, be prepared if they want a job. So it's preparing them, but we nature it, and the school have lost that.
Yeah, some teachers, they've been teaching so long, it's like routine. And I returned to school. I mean, I am an adult that returned to school but I found that you just have, for adults, in my opinion, one of the things you have to just admit you just don't know.
Right, and the thing
it's just pride. There's a lot of pride with adults.
It's pride there, but they're scared to talk to it. They're scared to be embarrassed.
They are.
And the thing is that they need teachers that can identify this and be able to hold on to them and let them know, that it's going to be all right. And we're going to go through this, and we're going to get you some remedial aid or whatever else it needs to help you pass. What inspired me on two occasions. One occasion, I know this lady that got her GED. She got her GED. She was so happy. She got it too. And she got a job. Got off assistance. Great. Got a job as assistant nursing. Then she said, I'm going back to school so I can get me some nursing license. Good. She went to the school, and next time I saw her, I said, how's school going? They had cut her lights off. I'm saying, the thing is that they had killed her hope.
The school didn't do that, did they?
Well, it was something at the school that whatever it was took that fire out of her. Then another occasion, a young lady I know that was struggling. She was already in the nursing classes.
Okay.
And I seen her about a year later and asked her, well, how you doing in school? She was excited and everything. She said, well, they prejudice. And I was like, so they done cut the lights off again.
I see where you come. So you're talking about, you know, building people and supporting people that are in school that to survive and to function.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's what you want to do.
Well, I want to also encourage others to come too.
Well, that, you know, so yeah.
Make it friendly again.
Okay.
Make it student and community friendly again. See, that's where we left off at. This is not a university, it's a community college.
Well, yeah, you know, the community college is, you know.
We got Eastern, we got U of M.
Based on Eastern, it is a community college based on Eastern, you know.
Right.
But even still, which you're right to build the self-esteem and the endurance, and to have somebody to talk about that can identify with them, you know, while they're in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Even for the adults.
Definitely for the adults.
I see. So okay. So we're on the same page, Casey. I definitely, you know, agree with what you're saying. I mean, you know, but you know, words develop pictures, and you know, I'm starting to understand what it is you really want to do. You want a grassroots community of people who are returning to school that need to be able to stay there. Yeah,
even encourage them to let them know it's okay. You don't have to be the smartest bulb in the crowd, the brightest bulb. You know, because you have programs that can make decent money. And if you decide you want to go to school and have to pay later, you can afford it. Because most of the adults come there are single parents, and they have already responsibility. So they need to make something to meet their income. You know what I mean?
It's like the strong survives. I mean, you know, and you know, that's just like the animal kingdom. You know what I mean? But you do have to help build up people, their self-endurance. But you should go there with some type of support system, and a lot of our people don't have any. A lot of times, even they have critics within their family. I mean, there's times when the very people that are the closest to you are the people that are telling you can't do it.
We got to break that. We got to break that.
But we do.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
I hear you.
We got to break that, and we can do it. All right. Like I say, once we get them and hold them there and keep them there and walk them on down the road.
Okay.
Until they graduate or until they get the job that they want.
Yeah.
You know, we'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but not only that. We want to keep it atmosphere. See, I went there 10 years ago, and I was the head of the African American Students Association. And back then, we had Mrs. Fry there, Mrs. Young there. Oh, man, they were some of the... And they was, sincerely, they was not just teachers, but they actually lived in the civil rights.
Yeah, okay. You find those people. I mean, well... Yeah.
They lived in the civil rights, marched in it, you know?
Yeah, I remember well.
And I'm saying, the thing is, they taught not just from the books, but from their own experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they would get with you, and they would nurture you, and they would go. And somehow we lost that up at the school. We lost that.
Yeah. A lot of them are retired, and probably nobody kind of took their place, and they kind of left a void. And you know, those people have gone, you know, away.
We have a lot of qualified people in the community
that
reflect. And like I say, it's a diverse county.
Yeah.
And we need to work. You know, they have, I guess, personal conflicts, issues or something in the past up there. And they was asking me, well, how do you plan to resolve that? So it's simple. Hey, main thing is to keep the focus on the students. Okay? Because guess what? Simple mathematics. Without students, you won't have to worry about conflicts. So, matter of fact, even a job.
No, yeah, but they have so many different races and ethnicities, you know, in the schools. African Americans, they are like a small minority of numbers up there. You know, they wouldn't miss us if we weren't.
The thing is, I wouldn't go that far, because this is the oldest trick in the book to think that just because one child gets neglected, it's not going to affect the whole family. See, I done lived long enough to see that is not true. Because once you neglect one child, it's going to affect the rest of them kids eventually. It just somehow, I can't explain it to you.
You talking about like in the household or in
the
school
household
community?
and school at all. Both.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
My experience.
Okay.
Okay. You neglect that child just because this child is not up to your par.
Yeah.
That child may catch up that you got there, but eventually he gonna fall back too for some reason.
Well, I do, I understand your passion. I understand your focus. I can definitely understand that there's a need, in that area. You just kind of center it, trying to center it around that, what you want to do, the things that you would like to see done, as a trustee.
And that's so good that you mentioned about the student talking to the teacher.
Oh, yeah.
About that, because I mentioned that on the show about how it may be biased and that they need to have some outsider to come and rate the teacher.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Because the simple fact you don't know if that student got an issue with the teacher or the teacher got an issue with that student.
Well,
and then, like you said, they're afraid to talk.
Well, that is mostly with underage children, because adults should be able to talk to adults. I mean, they should be able to.
Students are
and
students.
then but even everybody has a boss, and so but you're basically building up people to have that type of confidence, and so you know how to talk. I mean, there's a respectful way to talk with people.
Exactly.
And and based on numbers, I mean, if you do the work, you should get the grade. I mean, if you get so many right from so many wrong, they have a syllabus, and they have a grade, a chart, and if you get so many points on your test, then you can keep your own scores. But sometimes people have a problem doing the work, and so they need help.
Right.
And so they don't have, and they feel like there's little things, it's subtle things.
Right.
And I understand what there's the little things that not too many people would understand or be able to communicate. It's like that thing where you say, "Do you get me?"
Right. No. This
unspoken sometimes gestures or being ignored, or this just a little things that mean a lot.
Don't know how much of impact it have on that individual.
Yeah, you're right.
Just that one thing make that person drop out.
Right.
Just that one test.
And nobody sees it but you, or nobody to talk to about it or communicate it to you. And I understand that.
And that's what we have to be on the lookout for. Little stuff like that.
Yeah,
and see, not only that, Tammy. Now, as I say, I advocate against privatization, against private prisons.
Yes, you have.
Because it only lowers the standard of life and it labels people.
Yes.
Okay? And once a person is labeled, they're exploited.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that we want to also get our chambers of commerce and our businesses involved in this scholarship program. So the fact is, it'll give them a choice an alternate than investing into private prisons right now. Invest into our future, I mean, you invest into the fire department, you invest into the police department protection, you invest in insurance to protect your house. Who's going to take care of that house if you're gone and they can't even afford to take care of it?
Yeah, so what are you saying we should invest in, Casey?
We should invest into our children's. It is just that time.
Okay, well, I mean, as a trustee, you're dealing with the whole person of all ages. It's hard to focus in on the adults, and then
well, we work on it because we want to leave the door open for the adult children's too.
Yes.
Okay, I'll put it this way.
It's
I call the late bloomers.
Yeah, you have a lot of adults that might have started a family and not gotten the kind of educating, and they go back, and then and they need a little support. And I understand what you're saying. I see what your vision is. And I do understand where you're coming from.
And that is the history. I've been reading the history of Washington Community College. It started off in Ipsy. And that, believe it or not, that is the history. I feel like I'm right there at that moment.
Yeah.
It is almost frightening that I can identify so many things in it about why and the foundation that it was built off of. It was built off those kind of beliefs and foundations.
Oh, absolutely. And they keep it to a certain extent. I mean, they do, but I understand what you're talking about. When you talk about the little things, the things that aren't obvious, and people being able to have the confidence and the surety to to talk with people and voice themselves, have some support, because they do feel all alone, and they stick the school system, they stick together. And that one person is kind of all alone,
right?
And it's not all. You don't feel like it's always fair, but we still have a lot of issues with racism and things like that. And so people, aren't like there's a lot of white people that aren't comfortable talking to black people, African American people, and vice versa. You know, we do need
we got to get over. We got to get over.
We need skills like that. Yeah,
we got to move forward. We got to move forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're on our way. And I'm just saying, you know, we done had an African American president, and God's will, we have a female president. We got to move forward.
Yeah, you know,
and we are more advanced. We are a more advanced county than that.
Yeah.
One of the most advanced counties.
Yeah.
Okay, and we need to get beyond that foolishness.
So, like we don't have a lot of time. Time flies when you're having fun.
Thank you, thank
but
you.
But before we go, you know, for a last minute spiel. Mm-hmm. How would you go about dealing with the diversity, opening up the communications of diversity?
Well, for one thing, that'll be one of my number one, without saying, is open to the public and engagement. Okay. All right. So no one would be bigger than you or lower than you. Okay. All right. That goes from the administrators to the students to the community. Okay. Everybody's on an equal base. Okay. All right. And people should not have to be hiding and snooping and all that stuff, you know, or whispering or walking on eggshells.
Well, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
And I met the president, and she's a wonderful person.
Yes,
I think you could talk to, somebody you can talk to. All right. So I really don't see why any kind of fractions would interfere with this.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to make sure people see your information and get I want to make sure they have the information to get in touch with you if they need to.
Okay.
So I have this other information, if I can. This one has your information and your contact number. You can contact Rod at 734-686-9685, or you can email him at Rod Casey. This at DWCC. No, at W. Was that 4? Okay, Rod Casey 4 WCC at gmail.com. And if you'd like to get in touch with him and talk with him, but make sure that you vote for him. This coming
8th of November.
The 8th of November.
Yes, be on the main ballot.
Yeah, time is moving. The 8th of November. Wow, that's next week.
That's flying. I know. 2 weeks.
But get out and vote. I mean, your vote. You know, your vote matters. You have one vote, and it matters.
And Tammy, I also like to mention that we have. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with just some things that need to be addressed at the college. This is a jewel for us. Always has been a jewel. I've been here for 38 plus years.
Yes.
And Washtenaw County has been one of the favorite jewels in this county for me. And I'm saying, Washtenaw Community College, I'm saying we have programs. Mm-hmm. We have high-tech programs such as the computer-driven cars that they fussing about in Europe right now.
Yeah, it's a good school. Washtenaw Community College is a good school.
You know, and I recommend it not only to hire some qualified teachers from the community, but also to expand on the transportation, because that's the next big thing coming up.
Yes.
Is that we're gonna need people to know how to work those transportation systems when they have these trains and trams coming out here.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, we're gonna need people how to know how to do the electronic and even lay down the groundwork for it. So we want to have our people ready, the students ready for these jobs.
Yes.
And not only that, but for plumbing and welding, we want to emphasize on that, trades. Okay. All right. So we want the high-tech jobs just as well as the traditional jobs prepared.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm quite well with Washtenaw Community College. I'm familiar with many of them. I know their parents and grandparents.
Yeah.
And I do not want to see them fall through the cracks of the system.
We're running out of time, but I'm just going to let everything run. We're going to just run through it, but we're going to be back before you with Rod, and we're going to good luck on the election. Remember to remember him, and we're going to on the ballot, and we're going to have you come in and talk more about how things are going.
Yes, ma'am. Anytime
with
you need me.
With your endeavors, and you're going to be serving the community, so it's going to be important.
No, yes, ma'am. It's very
God
important.
bless you. We'll see you real soon.
And thank you for inviting me, Tammy.
You're very welcome.